been a week of sorrow for the car community, and that is why on this particular show, I would like us to start by paying tribute to Trevor Lamena. Trevor was otherwise known as Big Boy Trev. His show was called Cars with Big Boy Trev, and Trevor is among the pioneers of the automotive content journalism in Kenya. And I must say that Trevor played a very big role in, where I am today. He was a mentor. He was one of those people who I would consult before making any move. And he was one of the most supportive people that I have known in the car community. So all we can say is rest in peace and send our condolences to his family. So we're going to have 1 minute of silence for Trevor before we can start the show. Sawa sawa. So mnajua how we do. You start by sending those salamus and tell us where you're watching us from. We have Manuel is watching from Kitengela. Karibu sana Manuel. We have Josh Homan. Thank you so much, Josh, for always taking your time to watch this show all the way from the United States of America. We have Melbu anasema hiyo jina ngumu. Anasema knock knock. David Kamondo and Tycoon 001 just landed. We are filming from Top King Service Center, and Top King Service Center is on your way to the Ndigwa hapa Kiambu Road. Hapo kwa barabara utaiona tu. It's very well branded. And talking about Top King, we had some vouchers for you guys. Ni msee mmoja tu alikujia voucher yake. Yeah. And we have a very interesting announcement for you guys. Wednesday, 20th of August 2025, we are going to have our first Konnekt Live with a live audience. Yes, so we have limited slots. After this, we are going to give you a link, and next Wednesday we're also going to give you a link whereby you can sign that form and join us for Konnekt Live. Usikae kwa jam, kuja tuongee story ya magari. And by the way, the tickets ni free. So itakuwa hapa Top King Service Center. Come so that we can connect live. Usikubali kukaa kwa jam. Okay, so who else do we have? We have Edwin Wawero from Nepal. We have Mount Kenya Automobility watching from Nyeri. Thank you for recognizing Trevor. Trevor is one of my greatest mentor in this space. Morioki Marigi anasema baridi kwa wingi. Morioki ni jamaa fulani anakuanga na Pajero. He drives a very nice Pajero and he lives in the leafy suburbs. Daniel Kamondo is saying, hey, your view about Volkswagen Apps 2018 model 1000cc versus other to-dos. David, I'm going to go back to this question after we welcome guys. Cyrus Kibe from Kirinyaga, Fantas. Anasema Wednesday lazima nikuwe presenter. Fantas, by the way, karibu sana. Make sure you show up. He's saying Kangundo Road to Konnekt, Tycoon 001. Anasema link ya live audience. Link tutawapatia in fact, before Friday, you're going to have a link. It's going to be up on my social media platforms, and it's also going to be live on next Wednesday's live. So we are going to have the live link for you to come and join us for the live show. Na msisahau, there are limited slots available. Now, during that live session, Top King will be offering some good discounts on some services so that tukiwa pale live, gari yako inafanyiwa majambos pale. Sawa sawa. And now that brings up something else. I am looking for somebody who has had his car or her car stolen and not recovered. So kama ushawaibiwa gari, tafadhali the number yetu iko hapa kwa screen. Text us on WhatsApp. There's something I want to talk about. So if you have ever had your car stolen, just talk to us. I'm looking for someone who gari yake imeibiwa. We have Karota Uganda. Karota is watching us all the way from Uganda. He was a very good host the last time we were in UG. Enoch from Juja, Antis Mwans Akoandani, Collins from Sokimau, Dennis Maura from Uthiru Corporation, Jackson from Emuhaya, Vihiga County. We have Alex Kaka from Saudi Arabia, Mbugwa. Mbugwa thought suburbs are slums. No, suburbs are not slums, my friend. Aya. Patrick Morioki tuned in from Mwea. Now, tuendelee sasa tuanze show officially. So we are going to have a quick fire session, and quick fire session is where you send brief questions which I will answer directly. And the first question will be the one about the Volkswagen app, the one about the VW app compared to other to-dos. The VW app is actually one of those unique to-dos that was at some point in the year 2021, they were very common. But there are not many people buy VW apps, but they were nice cars. The only problem I knew the apps had was the batteries, the ile battery yake ya kawaida, it was not available locally and people had to import them. Ilikuwa tu na kastorika battery, but it's a good car, it's very economical. Although if you're thinking of the taxi business, I don't think the app would be a very good idea, because whenever you operate uko na net. Go stream tena ama nini mbaya? So guys, we are back online. Sorry for that technical hitch. Josh Homan is saying Wakabi is frozen. No, tumesort your issue. Edwin Waweru is asking, is BYD allowed in the Kenyan market? What would be the approximate cost of the BYD Dolphin? The BYD actually, they have a local dealer in Kenya. It's called Loxia by Sifao, Okopale Uhuru Highway. You can get a quote from Loxia. In fact, on our BYD video, the BYD Sea Lion video on this channel, there is a link whereby you can even book a test drive or request for a quotation. Sasa, Ekisa Rodney is another friend of ours from Uganda who owns a very clean Premio 260. Ekisa, is your Premio still available? Yes, and Ekisa also lives, he shuttles between the UK and Uganda. So he's a well-traveled man. And very soon, I know there are some vehicles will be shipping for him from the UK to Uganda. So thank you so much, Ekisa, for joining us. Any other question? Maswali zimeenda wapi? So Kibera was Wamafoko is saying, talk about some of these names. Okay. talk to me about the merits and demerits of Indian motors. So, Kibera, let me give you something very interesting. I have had the privilege to push some Indian vehicles to their limits. One of them being the Mahindra Scorpio, and now there is a newer Scorpio N. And I'm even thinking that we should make the Scorpion. There's something I want to have a resilience challenge for the Scorpio N. The Scorpio N is basically it's an SUV. It's in the Toyota Fortuner class. It's cheaper compared to the Fortuner, and that is Fortuner Mtumba, and the Mahindra is zero mileage. It has better fuel economy, and the pricing, leave alone the pricing. There is the pricing and there is also the warranty, because that Scorpio N is coming with a 5-year warranty. You know, the one thing about the Indians, and I'll keep on saying this about Indians, Indians have learned the art of learning. So sorry for that hitch again. Poleni sana. Poleni sana, I have to apologize. So Jay's Garage is saying, I recently watched that old model cars do not have electronic stability control, which means they are unsafe for emergency swerving. Most test. So can installing a strut bar mitigate the risk? So Jay's Garage, I think electronic stability control and ABS serve totally different functions, although they are more or less interrelated. However, I would say strut bars, the earlier models, we cannot compare the safety that the modern cars have to those of, I love old cars, but even their, you know, back then, those older cars were not, you know, they were not meant to tackle the speeds that modern cars can, or even the acceleration. So we can just say, if you have an older car that may not have superior braking power, what you do is you just buy a newer one, or usikimbize hiyo sana. But strut bars mostly are not to prevent swerving. Strut bars are to prevent the chassis from flexing. So yeah, strut bars are one way, but even modern cars have strut bars. So I don't think we would call them, we would refer to them as a safety measure. It's more of a measure to keep the chassis rigid, especially for performance vehicles. Ama gari zinatumika vibaya, commercial vehicles. Let's go. Who is saying Mr. Wakabi is frozen again? Josh Homan is saying we switch to Starlink. Okay, we have Wayne Kingori saying, hey Eric, is it advisable to downpipe a Subaru Forester, no, a Subaru WRX S4? Why not? Why not? Why not? If you want some kaleles. Kipnyatich Rono is asking, is engine wash recommended for any other reason apart from aesthetics? No, we don't have any other reason apart from if you're looking at, if you're looking for leakages, because if your engine leaks, sometimes it's advisable to wash it. And this is the engine block, so that you can see the points from where the oil is leaking. Who else? Do we have any other? Oh, Master is saying it's Kifara wa Mafuko. Nyanza Times is Mount Kenya Automobility is asking, would you advise people to buy a Nissan Leaf? Yeah, Nissan Leafs are not bad. They are good electric vehicles with EM57 motors. Nyanza Times is saying, would you recommend the heavy-duty coil spring to lift a Honda Fit RS or Spacers? I'm not a fan of Spacers, and I prefer using coil springs, but not really the heavy-duty ones that make the vehicle too stiff. You can get a coil spring that has a perfect balance between, comfort and giving you a little bit of clearance. Because if you go heavy-duty, the ride becomes too stiff, and sometimes it can become uncomfortable. Tuendele. Kifara wa Mafuko is saying, hujamaliza Indian, we have learned the art of, I was saying, the Indians have learned the art of, rectifying their mistakes. And that is why continue typing your questions so that we can answer them. So we are going to play a short video as we come back. So type hizo maswali zenyu hapo kwa comment section, and take a look at this.
Give my energy to nobody except my clique. Yeah, I just bet a couple bands eating good on a dish. They don't say congratulations, but you know they watch that shit. I ain't even gonna get mad. I'm young, black and rich. Yeah, cause he don't miss. I don't give my energy to nobody except my clique. Yeah, I just bet
I think we are going to skip that question about Indian cars because clearly there is somebody, one of our internet service providers seems not to like Indian vehicles. However, let's proceed to the questions. We have Multiverse Talk is saying Atenza 2500cc versus Outback. Which one can you recommend in terms of fuel economy, reliability, and general maintenance? One thing I'll tell you is that the Outback has one unique selling point, and that is ground clearance and all-wheel drive being standard. However, if you look at the Mazda Atenza 2500cc petrol, I'll tell you some things for free. One, it has it will give you better fuel economy. Secondly, the 6-speed automatic transmission is very reliable. You know, if you compare it to that of the Outback, the Outback has a Lineatronic CVT that makes it a bit lazy. So if you're not looking at ground clearance, the Atenza should sort you out. But if you want a car with ground clearance, then the Atenza will not be of much need. We have Kevin Ayeko is saying, Eric, what do you think about the Toyota Touring? Is it a good car, and what are the problems related to the car? The Toyota Corolla Touring is what has replaced the Toyota Fielder. And one thing I'll tell you, I've had the chance to drive the Toyota Corolla Sport, which is the one that comes as a replacement to the Auris. Well, the Corolla Touring will still maintain the legacy of reliability. You know, the Corolla nameplate is among, in fact, when you talk about Corollas, that is, you basically talk about reliability. The Toyota Corolla nameplate has, since time immemorial, it has never disappointed. So even with the Corolla Touring, I would tell you, go ahead and buy it. Maswali zingine hapa, let's see. We have, who else had asked a question? Okay. Kuna jamaa hapa anauliza kwani ameuliza nini? Unasema leo master anauliza kwani leo na stream kwa fridge. It's because I'm a cool guy. And Kenya's Terra Trekker and say at Eric away from cars. Yo tutaongea WhatsApp. I'll give you the secrets hapo WhatsApp. Who else? Junior Kangosing bana leo umepotea sana. Who else? Kibara wa Mafuku is saying iko mtu akona corruption hataki tujue story ya Indian Motors. Hata mimi nafikiria hivyo. I'm highly convinced that is true. But don't worry, because that content will come right to your doorstep. And I would take this chance to remind you that on Wednesday, 20th of August, we are going to have our first Konnekt Live with a live audience. The poster will be up tomorrow, and usikubali iyo Wednesday kukaa kwa jam. Actually, we are going to be doing this once every month, and this is an opportunity for you to come, experience the live session, ask your questions directly, and even the guys at home will still get to see us. Na pia meet with the team, ongea na Tom, ongea na team ya Top King akina Chris, wa Road Cruiser. Yes, talk about tires. Kuja, unajua where I come from, they say kununua ni kuona na kugusa. Kuja uone various tires ziko hapa, and also the services that are being offered at this service center. And the other thing, entry is free, absolutely free, but we have tuko na unajua tukiwa high school tulikuwa na ile inaitwa pass mark. So pia sisi on here we have a maximum number of bookings. So make sure once the link is up, the link will be up, the Google form will be up on my social media timelines across all platforms. So make sure you book early enough, and utabook na jina yako, your full name, and your official contact, so that we can be able to communicate to you. And entry time for this live session will be 7 p.m. So be here by 7 p.m. Ukikuwa hapa saa moja ndio 8 tuanze kufanya mambo yetu. Alafu hiyo day tutakuwa na, it's not going to be 1 hour, we are going to extend. Sawa. We have somebody cute. Kuna jamaa jina yake imeanza cute. Anasema Buda ulituondokea Kampala. Naona 14 supu. 14 bora. Alo mlilo. So suggestion, can the Grande Motor import? Somebody is asking something about Grande, and Tom is coming shortly. He's saying, suggestion, can the Grande importer customer start getting hood branded Grande Motors. Tom fanya mambo. Tom hupatiani hoodie. Tom hapatiani. Peter Nganga is late today, but let's go back to the questions. Kamanu Gishuki is saying, hey Eric, what's needed to add an AWD system in 4WD Toyota RAV499 series? The easiest way is to sell that one and buy another one, because you will need a gearbox and there is a lot of fabrication work, especially huko nyuma. Kifara Wamafuko is saying, between Isuzu Tafa and the Hilux pickup, which one is better in terms of service, output and speed? Now, Kifara wa Mafuko, I think the Tafa he's referring to the D-Max. Abu Tafa was before the D-Max and they were not very fast, but they were reliable. These are my KB26. They were called the Isuzu KBs. Now we are in the TFS, TFR generation. But I always say that when you're choosing between a Hilux and a D-Max, it's all about what are you using the car for, because both are reliable, both are very economical on fuel, and both are very capable. But some are suited, and each is suited for, well, they are practical pickups. But you will find that there are some things where the Hilux, or some tasks where the Hilux will shine, and there are other tasks where the D-Max will shine. So it depends on usability. So Wamafoko, you can tell us which job do you want to the pickup to perform, and then from there we can be able to say what the weak points and the strong points of both pickups. ITEL Writers is saying, oh, Kevin Moturi is saying, Eric, how is the LC500? Bro, LC500, LC5, you remember when we were in Tukio High School, we used to write love letters. Some, oh, my heart skips a beat. So when you start the vehicle, the sound that comes from that V8 is music to the ears. Hiyo ni ile inasimamisha roho. But anyway, it's a Grand Tourer, so it's not a car that is meant to be practical. It's more of a show car, more of a car to show off. Si gari ya practical, but you na daily driver pana. Hiyo ni gari ya mtu ako na magari zingine kadhaa. We have, who else? Kevin Moturi is saying, no, Tycoon 001, Mkuu, Honda RD1 versus X-Trail T30. Gani poor in terms of reliability. Now, hapa, let's start comparing the two. The RD1 was one hardy vehicle. And it's very reliable. It came with an all-wheel drive system. The X-Trail comes with a four-wheel drive system. So that's a significant difference. The other difference is the RD1 has a very tough build quality. The X-Trail, on the other hand, subject sana kwa rough roads, huwa inaanza kukatika huku kwa valences. So that's a general weakness with the Nissan X-Trail T30. But averagely, both are reliable vehicles. The other thing is that the X-Trail has an added advantage over the RD1 because the X-Trail has more space, so it's more practical. Then ITEL Writers was saying, would I recommend Garigani RAV4 for a first-time car buyer? The RAV4, the second gen, and second gen was good. Also, fourth gen, fifth gen was not bad. Actually, I think the only RAV4 that had a small problem was the ones that came with the 2AZ engines, and zilikuwa zinakunywa oil at some point. But that's for a person with, for the price of reliability, I think oil consumption is a problem that can be solved by an engine rebuild. But that also calls for a qualified mechanic. Joe Madenge is live from Gilgil. Kifara Mafuko is saying hardware job. Hardware job, go for the D-Max. Yes, if it's a hardware, go for the D-Max. Duncan M is saying, why is the Toyota Altis not popular in Kenya? Is it a bad car? No, the Toyota Altis was, mostly we import cars from Japan, and the Altis was not a JDM car. So that's why it's not very common here. Who else? Antis Moines is saying, VP, can you please comment on the Suzuki Escudo Gen 2 na Nissan Terrano R20? Which one would you prefer on your own? Mimi personally hapo naweza chukua the Terrano was a tough vehicle. Came with a TD27 engine, and those engines were very, very, very reliable. So yeah, I would go for the Terrano. The Escudo Gen 2 was not bad as well. I have owned an Escudo. They are reliable. The only problem is sometimes when it comes to fuel economy, they don't have very good fuel economy. Even the ones with the 1600cc engines. So yeah, that's something that I would like to put forward. Collins Wanyaga is saying, talk of the Toyota Corolla locally assembled. That is probably one of the best vehicles you will ever get. It never says die. It has an optional. It comes both with a CVT and manual transmission. The funny thing about that locally assembled Corolla is that parts are readily available, even aftermarket body parts. Supply yake iko juu na the costs are quite friendly. Well, Kennedy Moiderero is saying, your take on the Golf All-Track. I think he's talking about the Passat All-Track, or the Golf All-Track. Kennedy, let's clarify about the All-Track, because if it's the Passat All-Track, it's a perfect alternative to the Subaru Outback. It's tough. It has a Haldex all-wheel drive system. It has good ground clearance, and it is very economical on fuel. In terms of fuel economy, it beats the Outback. So, Francis Moreidi is saying, do Mazda's Skyactiv naturally aspirated direct injection engines have any issues? The 2.0 and the 2.5 liter engines found in the CX-5 and the Atenza. No. We as long as you have used clean oil and good fuel, you're not going to have a problem with those Skyactiv petrol engine. After I finish Samuel and Dati's question, Tom is going to come on set, and we are going to have a very interesting discussion to wind up the live session. But the live session, you still have close to 15 minutes. And let me finish up with Samuel and Dati as Tom comes on stage. So Samuel and Dati is saying, if you have a third party, ugongwe, to an extent, you're right off, mtu wa comprehensive, unalipwa vipi, what you do, you actually sue when you're comprehensive. That is one way. The other way is, before you sue them, you have to write a letter to their insurance company. It's actually a long process, but it's possible. If their insurance company does not respond, you proceed to file a civil suit. Sawa sawa. Kevin Clayton is saying, hello Eric, I'm torn between getting a Toyota 110 or a 2010 Mazda 3. This will be my first car. I'm looking for something that looks good, is reliable, and does not guzzle fuel. If you're talking about looks good, the 2010 Mazda 3 looks quite futuristic, and it's an amazing vehicle. Kamanu Gishoki, what's your take on the Range Rover Autobiography? The one that has both electric and hybrid systems, and how everything works. Kamanu Gishoki, these Range Rovers are what I would call ostentatious cars. They are cars that are bought for people for purposes of fulfilling their needs of luxury. So, and that's why, yes, people say Range Rovers are unreliable, but the people who buy Range Rovers do not care about the reliability of the vehicle, because it's an ostentatious car. It's not a daily driver. It's more or less a car to show your social status. So now, hakuna maswali leo, hamuulizi maswali bana. So, any other questions? Am I missing any other questions here? So as Tom comes to stage, I want to remind you that we are going to have a live show on the 20th of August, and you need to be here. We are going to have a live link, and we are going to have a poster. So when you see it, book mapema. The slots are limited, and entry is absolutely free. Sawa sawa. So maswali ziko wapi? Maswali zikuje. Show bado iko yang. is with us here, but before hata Tom usalimie watu, there is a question here that I would like to have this discussion with Tom, especially because we recently imported a Honda Vezel hybrid, the RU4 all-wheel drive, and actually we filmed the whole journey. So tomorrow you will have that. Tomorrow night you're going to have that show, and we tested the fuel economy of the Honda Vezel RU4. And this question is has been asked by nani ameuliza swali ya Honda Vezel. There is somebody who was asked about the Honda Vezel here, and he was asking Tom,
Yes.
if somebody for a first time car is looking for a fuel economical vehicle, whether the Honda Vezel and hybrid is a good car. And one thing I normally say, I don't know if you'll agree with me. If you're buying a Honda Vezel, go for the RU1.
Yes, the non-hybrid.
Non-hybrid.
Yes.
Tuliendesha gari kutoka Mombasa hadi Nairobi. What was the fuel economy? We can tell them before they get to watch the show.
It fared very well. We did 17.7 kilometers to the liter, according to the odometer readings.
Yes.
Then we did a calculation. They differed a little bit, but sio sana. So I felt it performed well, matters fuel efficiency, though tulikuwa tumejaa, ilikuwa imebeba. And the speeds hatukuibembeleza sana. Yes, so it fared very well. 17 is not bad.
Yes.
Given that it was full capacity plus the equipment that we had.
That brings, it's good leo tutapiga hii story. If you were to use an RU1, because now the hybrid ones, remember there is the gearbox story.
Yes.
that is around. The RU1 has a very reliable gearbox. Do you think in the I always say that with the non-hybrid Vezel, there are fewer things that could go wrong.
Yes.
But with a non-hybrid, there are more things that could go wrong. So, and maybe even the fuel economy will not differ much. Sindio?
Yes.
In fact, kwenye hybrid itapiga mtu, itapiga non-hybrid in terms of difference is in town.
Yes. Especially kwa traffic sana. But kwa longer distances, difference itakuwa kubwa sana.
Itakuwa kubwa.
Yeah, itakuwa kubwa sana.
So that is so the RU1, the non-hybrid Honda Vezel, is actually the perfect subcompact crossover SUV. But they are quite expensive.
Yeah, they are costly because they are few. Even in the Japanese auctions, unapata kidogo sana. They are very few. Yeah.
So and the demand is high.
Yes, and funny enough, their duty is lower than the RU4.
Duty is lower, but sasa ikifika ni kwa bei.
Kwa bei huko
CIF yake iko juu.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let me read the question. Kenya's Terra Trekker is saying, Kaka, what's your experience with converting a Golf Mark 6 from a 7-speed to a 6-speed? They say that the Mark 6 is a less problematic one. I would call that uneconomical. Because one thing is that you have to change the computer, you have to change the wiring harnesses. There is a lot so it doesn't make sense.
A lot of work.
It's too much work.
Yeah, it's better you sell, you buy what you want.
Uza Mark 7, nunua Mark 6.
Mark 6, yes.
Some of these things simply do not make economic sense. Plus the hassle before you can mate the two together.
Yes, then inaweza tokea tu shida from anywhere. Itakuwa a problematic car.
Yes.
Isipofanywa perfectly, itakusumbua sana.
Itasumbua kabisa.
Yeah.
That question about the Honda Vezel was by a guy called Vox the Boss. So, Josenderi is saying, mlisema Uganda magari ni cheap as compared to Kenya. Practically, example, a Fielder is about 1.8 million Kenya shillings in Kenya. Uganda ni ngapi?
Uganda, comparing will be a bit tough because Uganda waleta gari mzee kidogo. The best thing we did is we compared the CX-5, you remember? And the Ugandan one was a bit cheaper.
Yes.
Because we had a 2018 CX-5 there.
Yes.
Yeah, comparing it na hizo za Uganda, unless you get a 2018 Uganda, it will be hard. But Uganda duty zao ziko a bit favorable.
Yes. So, Gamers44 is saying, hello, Okabi. Say I import E55 W211 and swap parts to the shell of a local 211. Can it be imported in working condition or must it be imported as parts? I'll tell him that that you can't import it as in lazima ikue parts.
Parts. Get parts.
Hiyo ni parts. You cannot import it as a full unit. You can only import it as parts. And these days, even the shippers cannot allow, they will not ship a car to Kenya that is older than 8 years.
8 years, yes.
Yes,
You
can't. There's another one. Jonas Keys is saying, Bwana Eric with a CK, what's your take on the new gen engines from Subaru? Well, the new generation engines from Subaru are they have their good parts and their bad parts. The good parts are these engines are chain driven, so the timing belt problem is completely scrapped. Now there is the challenge. The turbocharged ones like the F820, they have proved to be very problematic. So that is the setback of this new generation. This new generation Subarus, yes. So Felix Mogira is saying, how is a Subaru Forester SG5 2-liter automatic, considering the fuel economy? It can do 12 kilometers to the liter. SG5 12 kilometers to the liter, not unless kwa mteremko. Especially automatic.
Yeah.
Not unless kwa mteremko hiyo. Kenya's Tracker is saying, no, I meant shifting gearbox from 7-speed to a 6-speed, not converting. Again, also that is too much work. It's too much work. Because again, you see the software is different from the 7-speed to the 6-speed. The software is quite different. Our Vix the boss is saying, Eric, the Honda Vezel non-hybrid goes for approximately how much on average? Nianze kujipanga Tom and ilete. And one more question, do they come in all-wheel drive? RU2, yes.
Yes, RU2 ndio yenye si hybrid, non-hybrid, 4-wheel drive.
Bei yake?
Bei yake tafuta hapo between 2.5 to 2.7 depending on auction grades na mileage.
Okay.
That's the range.
David Miner is saying, why are earlier Pajeros 4x4 quite cheap? Are they unreliable or what's the thing? I think it's just a market. Market. Ni soko tu. We have a friend of ours who drives one, and it's a 1989. It's still on the road.
Yeah.
Andy Kaisha is saying, Eric ulisema Honda Vezel hybrid is same platform na Honda Fit hybrid. So basically, the Fit gearbox is troublesome kama Vezel. Yes. Yes. And Tom, there is something that we mentioned on the video. It is quite unfortunate that we are having to tell you the things that are on tomorrow's video. Now, Honda, the manufacturer, the reason why these newer Honda hybrids are having some problems with the gearbox is because hybrids are known for being boring to drive. So Honda wanted to make their hybrids fun to drive. So they introduced something that is called Honda Hybrid Sport or Sport Hybrid. The initials are Honda IDCD, Intelligent Dual Clutch Drive.
Yeah.
So they brought in a dual clutch transmission to keep the fuel economy good and to make you feel like you're having an engaging drive. However, there was a software glitch with the first ones.
Yeah.
Vezel za kwanza hybrid, Fit za kwanza hybrid, Shuttle, Grace, zote zilikuwa na hiyo ako kashida. Although the gearbox is not the same. Hiyo ya Vezel na ya Fit. The same platform, but the gearboxes are not. They are not the same, but they share similar problems.
Yeah.
So Honda even made a recall, especially kama umenunua gari yako Vezel ama Fit kutoka 2014 to 2016.
Yeah.
Those ones were the worst hit, and there was even a recall in Japan, and Honda recalled them to sort the DCT or the dual clutch issues. So yes, it's not a problem that is imaginary. It is a problem that has been there, and this is a conversation that we have had on the video the Honda Vezel video. Tafadhali mkumbuke kesho hiyo video ni moto kama pasi, muitizame pale. Let's say Kipngetich Rono is saying SG5 12 ni ngumu. Wewe zinamwambia 12 labda kwa mteremko. Lakini ordinarily SG5 ni ngumu. Otio Temo is saying, hello Eric, can I get an internship at Konnekt? I am willing to work for free as I am an automotive enthusiast and ready to learn from the best. OT, just drop us a message pale WhatsApp. We'll get in touch with you. Quick fast. So we have Kevin Jeroge saying, hey Mr. Eric, is importing a vehicle through SBT or before cheaper than buying low mileage here in Kenya? I don't want to mention names, but I think importing directly, not through those platforms, is even cheaper.
Yes.
Is even cheaper.
It is.
It is even cheaper. Buying, and it's not cheaper kushinda kununua locally. Hakuna venye kuimport gari itakuwa more expensive. Not unless it's a very good quality car.
Yes. Yes. Those sites, tusimention kwanza.
Tusimention.
Yes. So when you come to us to import your car, the advantage we have over the competitors, we give you all the documents that car has in Japan. The auction sheet, which you may not get from other platforms. Basically, we buy our cars from the auction, Japanese auction. So you have the advantage of getting those auction sheets. We interpret them for you. We tell you this car ime replace hii panel. Kama panels replace kama za mbele zote unajua ni gari ligongwa mbele, we discourage that. So we don't give you just the auction sheet. We explain to you. Hii gari inaweza kuwa iko na shida hii na shida hii. So that's the advantage you get from engaging us in importing. And yes, importing your own on your own, like direct importation is cheaper than buying locally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only cheaper. If you import through an experienced importer, you also get a better quality vehicle.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
David Kamau Maina is saying, is buying a zero mileage 2023 Isuzu MUX 3.0 value for money? How it will make sense importing one used and cheaper? I think it all boils down to what are you looking for.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for a higher spec of the MUX, you probably have to import it. And the MUX is not available in Japan.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not available in Japan. You can only get it from South Africa, na Thailand.
The Asian countries.
Asian countries, yes. So it's not available in Japan. You cannot get the MUX from Japan. Na Thailand inakuwa imepigwa madoido
sana.
Na pia Thailand mwenyewe kuna MUX 2-wheel.
Na pia unafaa kuwa very careful with hizo markets zenye hakuna story ya nini auction grades. You should be very keen when buying from those markets.
Yes. So Master is saying, avoid the first gen of any vehicle. I will have to agree with him. Do not be a guinea pig. Do not be a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Kuna msee anasema, Andy Akisha anasema, aya hapo fit tumeguzwa. What are the other alternative do we have to get apart from the fit hybrid? No, the fit hybrid is not bad. In fact, it's among the best hybrids we have in the market.
Yeah.
One thing about Hondas is that they built a very, very reliable hybrid system.
Yeah.
In fact, ni ngumu sana usikie Honda imeharibu the hybrids. Toyota, as we see them every day with hybrid issues. In fact, yesterday I had a conversation with Nyambura and we were trying to list the statistics of Honda hybrids versus Toyota hybrids. And you'll see most of the time they are fixing either Nissan or Toyota hybrids. Honda hybrids, they have perfected the art of hybrids, the hybridization. The only problem was that with that dual clutch gearbox. Na si kila mtu inapata. It's case by case. Only that at the end of the day, the negatives will be.
Hizo ndio zinakuwa amplified.
Zinaweza kuwa amplified.
Yes, ni kama tu the VWs, hiyo DSG. Unapata not every unit itakuwa na shida.
Yes.
Ni few cases but zinakuwa amplified, inakuwa ni kama DSG.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Gerald Kamau here is saying, hi Eric, what makes sense? Petrol, CX5 petrol more expensive than the diesel version, considering the diesel version has more features. I think what makes the CX5 petrol more expensive, Tom, you might be privy to that information, especially the cost of petrol CX5s in Japan.
Yeah.
But for the Kenyan market, I think the key thing is demand.
Yes, demand and the supply. Actually, I've imported so many CX5 this year, both petrol and diesel. We have one in 21 we are clearing. And funny enough, the prices are, if you are going for good quality, utapata prices zote ziko same. Both diesel na petrol unapata zina range almost the same price. Because now diesel ukipata yenye iko na grade mzuri, good mileage, bei iko juu. Now unaweza pata pia diesel very cheap, na yenye imesonga na grade iko chini, ndio utapata ziko cheap. Yeah.
So in short, the hypothesis here is that watu wananunua diesel CX5 mingi wananunua vibakuli.
Yes, you get very cheap one. Hata zingine with that 2.2, 2.0 una import CX5. Yeah. Na usiulize inakaaje. Na ziko ni kitu unaingia kwa auction unapata daily because there are so many. But for petrol unapata mostly ziko decent.
Yes.
Because there are few.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rogers Kemboy is saying, Wakabi, what's your take on Volvo V60 D4? Hiyo gari inasonga na inakunywa fiti.
D4 iko sawa.
Iko sawa. But you have to be somebody who drives quite a lot. Hiyo si gari ya kushinda parking.
Yeah.
Kifara wa Mafoko is saying, tell me about cooking gas system in comparison with petrol gas. Can this gas damage the engine system and how much is it to convert? This is a very controversial topic that we have had here even before.
Yeah.
And Tom, ukiwa kwa Japanese auction, and this is something I can tell guys to go experiment, you'll find there is a bar for fuel type.
Yes.
Hata ukienda kwa these Japanese car selling sites, there is normally petrol, diesel, hybrid, electric, and LPG.
Yes.
So there are cars that are specifically LPG.
Yes.
And one thing about, I was reading an article from one of the spark plug manufacturers globally, and they were saying if you convert from petrol to LPG, if you're using a spark plug that is not LPG rated, it's going to wear out faster.
Yes.
There are things that wear out faster include in some cases piston rings. Ndio maana unaona sana gari mingi za Uber zimewekwa LPG, haziendi sana kabla hazijaanza kutoa moshi.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some there is just, I don't want to get too technical because it might watu huku wako na emotions mingi sana. But hawapendi kuambia ukweli. Unajua Kenya hatupendi kuambia ukweli.
Yes, if you are converting it to LPG, convert aspects zote.
Kila kitu.
Si kuipea tu mafuta.
Convert kila kitu.
Convert kila kitu.
So I think we will need to have a straight talk on LPG conversions and why it is not probably the best.
Yeah.
So in fact badala ya convert bana, siku hizi watu wanalisiwa electric cars na bei mzuri sana. Ukiwa na 50k unaenda unapewa una lease. David Kamau was saying, Wakabi, we are still waiting for the review of the Isuzu D-Max Kipchoge edition in Auto Konnekt Kenya. Please do. Tutaileta very soon. Teratreka is saying, sijaelewa mbona Mazda Demio ikue diesel for such a small engine. What is the downside? I don't think there is a downside. I just think it's where we are moving.
Yeah.
Because it's not only the Demio that is diesel. Tuko na Peugeot 208 diesel. Sindio?
Yes.
Tuko na 308 diesel.
Ziko.
Kuna Honda Fit diesel, yenye inaitwa Honda Jazz for the UK market.
For the UK market.
We also have the Renault Clios. Hizi zinaitwa Luticia. Pia ziko na some diesel options. So what do you think? I think it's not a matter of size.
It's not a matter of size. Now those 1500 diesels, ziko na power na they are very efficient.
Yes.
People wenye nimeletea the Axela na the Demios the diesel, they are giving good reports on them. Sijapata any complaints of any problem in the car.
But nayo lazima uendeshe gari.
Lazima uendeshe gari. Lazima uendeshe gari.
So now this one is a very technical question, and again we had this discussion. Kwa nini watu mnatoa aje maswali za video ya kesho? Mnatoa aje maswali za video ya kesho? So Linton Asiago is saying CK ongea about the best mileage. Ameandika Mirage. The mileage tunamuelewa. He's saying the best mileage to import a hybrid more so kwa Toyota Prius. Na before ujibu hiyo swali Tom, tunawaambia ukiimport any Toyota hybrid with us, tunakudunga warranty ya 16 months.
Yes.
16 months is 1 year, 4 months.
4 months, yes.
Yes. So Tom, what is the best mileage?
For the hybrids, the lower the mileage, the better. But don't just check on the mileage only. The mileage will get you the batteries at a very good condition. Hazijatumika sana. Pair that with the auction grade and a general condition ya gari.
Yes.
Yes.
So at least tumepeana hiyo jibu. Francis Morethi is saying hybrid ECVT or the conventional CVT in Toyotas. Which one is more dependable in the long term? I think the reason why you have ECVTs in Toyota hybrids is because of the power split factor. Because the ECVT is able to split the power when the vehicle is EV mode ama ICE mode ama tukiwa pamoja. So that's why having an ECVT makes sense. So it's not a matter of how long it's going to last. It's a matter of it has to be there for the system to work. There's a question hapa. Drake Kevin is saying, what is the cost of converting drum brakes to disc brakes in a Toyota 110? Kuna Drake Kevin andika message hapo kwa hiyo namba iko hapo. There is a gentleman who does that job very well. Anaitwa Mr. Suleiman Wesanga. Mwana wa Ingo. Huyo atakufanyia hiyo kitu vizuri na atakubreakia down what that will entail. Tuendelee na hizi maswali. Gidi Anton as we wind up anasema hello Erico, Mazda Atenza 2500cc, Honda Accord 1500cc hybrid. What are your views on reliability and comfort? Tom, tumeleta Honda Accord na wewe.
Tumeleta Accord.
Tuleta Accord ile ya black. Personally, to be honest, I would go for the Atenza.
For the 2500cc.
Wacha bana, Mungu akikubariki kununua gari. Usimfuko usinyonge sana. Because the Accords are quite pricey. Even
they are pricey.
They are pricey. They are not cheap. Size ina range ngapi?
Size iko zinaelekea the 3 million mark.
Sasa bwana sinunue Atenza 2500cc.
It's because there are few.
There are not many.
There are not many. So the lower the supply, unapata price inakuwa juu kidogo.
Sawa. Kipngetich Rono is saying, for small diesel engines, what would be recommended distance for daily drive? That's easy. As long as it's not even daily per se.
Yeah.
As long as you drive the car at least once in a while.
Long distance.
So that it regenerates DPF to prevent clogging. Yeah. I tell right anasema Bwana Eric ni aibu lakini mtu hu downshift aje kwa manual gears. Si unakanyaga clutch unatoa namba 4 unaweka 3 hivyo. That is what is downshifting. Ama namna gani? So I think it's 9:13 p.m.
Yeah.
Monatom, today we have had such an awesome show. And I want to remind them that we are filming from Top King Service Center. Na wakumbuke Wednesday 20th. Show Mambo ni live audience. So poster will be out. We're going to have a very interesting set. So come and be ready to meet the team. Na ukumbuke kama by the way uko na kama utakuja na usikubali kukaa kwa jam. Kuja tupige live, tupige story ya magari, jam clear. Uende home vizuri, save mafuta.
Yes.
Tickets ni bure. Utakuja hapa uingie gari, unaweza bahatika ioshe na 360 car wash.
Yeah.
Unajua watu wanaionea huko kwa barabara.
Kuna mtu ameuliza mambo ya
Hoodie, kuna mtu ameuliza mambo ya hoodie. Utakuja na kadhaa. So hoodies za grandes zitakuwa kwa wingi pale. You might just be the lucky winner.
Yeah.
Mambo itakuwa mzuri, and we are going to have a very interesting topic. And remember, I asked, kama kuna mtu ameshawahi ibiwa gari, tafadhali inbox just inbox us on the WhatsApp, and our WhatsApp number, it's on the screen. Please, there's something I need to ask you to do for me. So if you have ever had your car stolen, talk to us. The other thing is, Aunties anasema hiyo video ya project ya Land Rover ya Suleiman niliona different views nikacheka. Aunties, watu huku nje, watu hapa inavari. Kuna watu wako na 2500 cc, kuna watu wako na 1000 cc.
Na 660.
Na 660. Na unfortunately 660 ndio wengi. So msikue na wasiwasi. So I think it has been an awesome session, and we always value your feedback. Leo tumewapatia ka extension. Yeah. Next Wednesday. Pia wacha 20th. Sasa hii ni next Wednesday. Next Wednesday we are going to make the panel even bigger. So it can only get better.
Yes.
Sawa. So msipotee sana next Wednesday. Na tuko na video kesho. Honda Vezel from Mombasa to Nairobi. 600 kilometers. Na msiulize 600 kilometers ilitoka wapi. Ni sababu tulipitia tulipitia
wataijulia kwa video.
Wajue
mahali tumepitia.
Sawa. So thank you so much guys for joining us, and it's good night from Kiambu Road at Top King Service Center.
Young Gotti!
except my clique. Yeah, I just spent a couple bands eating good on a dish. They don't say congratulations, but